Hi, we're here at the ALEC convention in Salt Lake City, Utah. I'm here with my friend Henry Kriegel from Montana. Henry, tell us who you are and who you're with.
I'm with Americans for Prosperity Montana. I've been engaged in public activism since I was in college at Columbia University with Young Americans for Freedom, and I used to run the Committee for Free Afghanistan during the Soviet War and resigned after the Soviets were forced to withdraw.
That's an impressive resume. And Henry and I got to meet each other first over the phone because our organization, Bring Our Troops Home, was working on a resolution to end the endless wars in Afghanistan, in Iraq, in Yemen, and Syria, and we're pushing legislation. And that's where Americans for Prosperity and the Concerned Veterans for America in Montana came into the picture with their own resolution for the Montana legislature. Tell us about that resolution.
Yes, HJ9 was introduced by Representative Ron Marshall, who himself is a combat veteran. It was carried by Senator Kenneth Bogner, who was a U.S. Marine. And that resolution passed overwhelmingly. There was only 5 votes casted against that resolution, and a call for the withdrawal of U.S. troops from Afghanistan and for the rolling back and removal of the AUMF, the authorization for the use of military force, because it has justified our excursion and intrusion in countries all around the world where we have absolutely no national interest at stake.
And the authorization of use of military force, that's a way for the president to skirt the Constitution. In Article 1, Section 8 of the United States Constitution, it gives the vested power to the Congress to declare war. And we haven't done that since 1942. And by repealing the AUMF, it would have taken the funding and the authorization away from the president to take us into wars in Iraq, Yemen, Syria, Iran, the Horn of Africa. And so it's an important piece of legislation, not legislation, a resolution, a strongly worded resolution that was sent to the United States Congress from the state of Montana. In addition to that, tell us about some of the firepower you'd used to get that resolution passed in Montana. You brought a friend of ours up there to Montana. Talk about that.
Yeah, Scott Horton, he's an amazing guy. He's a writer, he's a podcaster, he's just a great communicator, he's awesome. We brought veterans to the table. Our guys in Billings, Chris Engett, great job. We had the American Legion involved in this. They passed a resolution supporting our withdrawal from Afghanistan just like a month earlier. We brought everything we possibly could. We were the first state in the nation to pass a resolution like this. So we led in Montana on this issue. And why was I so passionate about it? Because when I was with the Committee for Free Afghanistan, I used to work with the Afghan people. I had little kids who had their hands blown up picking up Soviet-made toy bombs. We provided humanitarian aid. We advocated for effective material assistance to defeat the Soviet Union. So initially, after 9/11, I was all in on going into Afghanistan because we needed the exact retribution on the terrorists, and we did that in very short order, literally within the first couple of months. We could have gotten Osama bin Laden during that time, but we let him go. When we finally did get him a few years later, we should have immediately said, victory, we're out of there. But we didn't, and now we've been in there for 19, 20 years. Well beyond anybody's imagination. And, having had personal involvement in that issue for 6 or 7 years, when I was a young kid, and literally sitting in the White House talking with President Reagan, briefing him on what the Afghans thought about that crappy Geneva Accords deal that he co-signed, or working with Charlie Wilson from Charlie Wilson's War and his people to help the Afghans, to see how it has gone so downhill in that country. And the more we are involved in, the more resources we spent, the worse it's gotten. And when I read the Afghanistan papers by, Craig Whitlock, in the Washington Post, I was stunned by how we were misled by our generals and our political leaders about how terrible we've been performing in there, and how we've been working with the dregs of the dregs trying to prop up an Afghan National Police Force, and the war on opium was a total disaster, and we were building infrastructure, and these people couldn't even open up the doors to the building, literally could not turn the door handle to open up the doors we were building in these monumental offices for them. And we were begging literally for money to help the Afghans back during the Soviet War, like Commander Massoud, who was a legendary commander. He got zero assistance for us, and he was a hero, and he was defeating the Soviets. We were begging for scraps on the table, and now we're spending trillions of dollars for nothing. And I said, this is crazy, enough is enough. And so I really got behind that thing, and it is a a statement, a powerful statement. He carries really no legislative authority, but is a powerful statement coming from the grassroots, from the states. So I would urge those who are watching this video to go to their legislatures and have them do the very same thing, because we have to have people speak up on this. We cannot let Congress off the hook. They have to vote yay or nay on these wars when it's involving our finest men and women that we're sending into battle.
Absolutely. And I think it's important in Montana, you guys didn't have a voice vote. You did a full roll call vote. And so we were able to identify every single no vote. And that's where a place where veterans who support ending the wars and using proper war declarations, that's where they can put their efforts, is defeating those people that are against ending these endless wars. And so by identifying them through a roll call vote, that's a very key tactic. And I was very proud of you guys for doing it. One last thing, if people want to find out more information about this resolution, where can they go?
They go to the mtledge.gov website, look up a bill, it's HJ9. It is a very well-crafted resolution. You can just, copy it for all we care. Great ideas are all over the place. Just take our resolution, you can tweak it and get it introduced in your legislature and get it done and leverage it in the media. Dan, thank you so much for your time with this interview. We got to get the word out on this. Bring our troops home.
Thank you, Henry. I appreciate your time.
Absolutely. Thank you.
That's awesome. Thank you.